And welcome back to Barcelona. So David Coulthard on the front row for tomorrow's Spanish Grand Prix. A very decent performance from Damon Hill. We didn't see all that much of him, but he's finished in 8th place. He will start in 8th place for the Grand Prix tomorrow. And Damon talks now to James.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, Damon, it could have been a bit better than 8th in truth, couldn't it, today?
I don't know. I think maybe 7th. It could have been, at the maximum 6th, but I think I got the best I could out of the car. Maybe, plus or minus a couple of tenths, but it's very close. As you can see, the times are very close. And I have to say, I think that the Bridgestone tyre seems to be of a benefit on this circuit. A lot of cars ahead of us, which we wouldn't expect to see ahead of us. So,
I noticed your little gesture to Heinz-Harald Frentzen in the pit lane. It didn't go unnoticed, Damon. What was that all about?
Well, we have we've sort of struck up a repartee or a rapport, whereby we wave at each other every now and then.
Didn't look like you were waving to me, Damon.
Well, this is where we communicate in Formula One.
But he obviously blocked you out on the track. That's what you're upset about.
No, actually, I got out of his way, and then he decided to get upset about that. So I can't really understand that, but that's not really relevant. I mean, today we qualified 8th. We wanted to qualify better, but I think we're in very good shape for the race, and that's the important thing.
Thanks very much, Damon. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Damon. 1 or perhaps 2 points will do well for Damon tomorrow. Now, Derek Warwick is with us all weekend, along with Tony Jardine. Well, Derek, right at the start of the show, you said about David Coulthard, you reckon he's settled for second. That's how it turned out.
Well, how can you be disappointed driving a McLaren? But tonight he will be very disappointed. He's 7 tenths off of Hakkinen, and really Hakkinen's blown him away. He needed to keep the momentum from Imola, and he hasn't. So he's going to be searching tonight, wondering what to do, how to approach the race tomorrow.
Tony, right from the word go, Mika Hakkinen said, this is my hour.
Yeah, he did, and it's domination like we saw in Brazil. Here it is, absolutely committed. The car is so good here. Aerodynamically, it's so superior, and these long corners here in Catalonia suit the McLaren down to the ground, and of course the power of the Mercedes engine. Every little bit of it is being used by Mika Hakkinen here, and he's a little bit more relaxed now he's winning. He's a cooler character, he's a happy guy, he's getting married in the summer, his fiancée's here, Urja Honkanen, I think I can say in Finnish, okay. But, there he is, and he's dominating, and I hope he doesn't do what he did in Brazil, because otherwise DC will be in a bit of trouble.
And
David Coulthard, that is.
Subsequently, of course, he went quicker even than that, didn't he, Mika?
Yeah, we missed his quickest lap, but I mean, obviously, 7 tenths quicker than David. It's a good effort. The guy's on it at the moment. He obviously couldn't find the balance at Imola, and he's decided to come here and give David a bit of a spanking, and he has.
Mustn't forget he's still in good shape for the race tomorrow, David Coulthard, but looking at his response to Hakkinen, did you ever feel he was going to get that pole position?
No, I mean, you could tell from the interview. You could tell by the way he was driving that very first lap. You could just tell he's just very nervous on the steering wheel. You can see he's very hesitant. He's not really sure what he's doing. He's trying to drive the car hard, and in doing so, overdriving the car. So, the time just disappears very quickly nowadays. But he's still driving the McLaren, so he should be happy.
Indeed, he should, and of course he's up there on the front row for the Grand Prix tomorrow. Well, in South America, poor Johnny Herbert had an absolutely miserable time in his Sauber. Much more encouraging, though, for the British driver today. Johnny will start 7th, and he talks now to Louise.
Johnny, we had a chat before the start of the session. You told me you were going to be in the top 8, so you must be pretty pleased with yourself.
Well, 7th is better than 8th. After yesterday, I didn't really expect to be sort of 3rd, 4th, or 5th. I thought we could have been 6th or 7th. I ended up 7th, which is where I expected to be, but obviously I would always expect a bit more. But the main thing, I saved a set of tyres for tomorrow.
You've done lots of testing here. How much has that helped?
Well, it helps to a certain point. The only problem we have at this particular type of track is the weather makes a big difference. The temperature of the tarmac when we tested was much cooler, which then means the tyres work at a better temperature and they don't go off as much. But now we've come here to the Grand Prix, temperature's gone up, and you have to adjust the setup of the car to really go with the conditions. So this is one problem we have with Barcelona, is that inconsistency with temperature.
And how are the Goodyears holding out?
Well, so far they seem to be okay. I did a run, which I don't think was a very fair run because the tyres didn't perform very well, but I think with a fresh set, I think that consistency will stay and won't be a problem during the race.
Well, it's a good performance today. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Now then, Derek, quick appraisal of Johnny Herbert.
He's the only character in Formula One almost, isn't he?
Think so?
Yeah, he's really trying hard. He's settled in well. He's out driving a lazy and doing a great job.
Tony, Benetton will be pleased by their hour's work here today.
Yeah, particularly Giancarlo Fisichella, because he only out-qualified Wirtz once, and that was in Australia. And what a ding-dong battle. They changed places 3 times during qualifying. And his Wirtz here going around, he'd got that 3rd position back, and I thought, blimey, he'd gone so far ahead. And Derek, I agreed. He's the real surprise of the season, really.
Absolutely.
And when they both started out at the beginning of the year, Pat Simmons said, well, these 2 guys, they're really equal. And in fact, they said they built lots of spare parts for the cars because they anticipated all the crashes they would have. But Fisichella had a big crash here in testing. He's come back from a 190-mile-per-hour crash, and he's okay. So he'll be chuffed with that.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Now then, I think they've had the press conference down there. David Coulthard, who is finished in 2nd place, has been talking. Let's see what DC made of his work here.
Mika. Well, David, you won the last race and you were on pole for the last 2 races. Are you a bit surprised that there's a bit of a gap between you and Mika?
Well, not surprised because Mika was very quick in the morning session. Obviously a little bit disappointed I wasn't able to get as comfortable with the car as he is. Congratulations to Mika, he obviously got a lot out of the car because it was a good lap. But as we've seen earlier in the season, Argentina, for instance, I had quite a gap over him there, and it was just simply that I was at 1 with the car and he wasn't. So it's always going to sort of swing backwards and forwards. And I've just got a little bit more work to do for tomorrow.
And of course, we'll see what he does tomorrow here on ITV. The whole race coming up live for you on Sunday afternoon. But we can never discount Michael Schumacher here. And I mean, he's got a dreadful car by Ferrari standards, and he's wrestled it round to a decent place on the grid.
But look at this car. I mean, the car's alive. I mean, he just muscles the car around all the time. He visits places I've never even seen as a racing driver, and he's just got total commitment. The car is so nervous, it's keep going, he's on the curbs, he's just everywhere. It's just fantastic. Every time I watch Michael, I learn something from him.
He is absolutely the best, isn't he, Derek?
By far, you know, I mean, obviously the McLaren's going to win the race, but Michael will give him a good run for the money.
Let's just talk about the race tomorrow finally with you, Tony. The McLarens are going to win, is the feeling. In what order?
I think it'd be Mika Häkkinen. I mean, anything could happen. There could be a first corner collision, especially if David Coulthard makes one of his brilliant starts. You never know, and then Michael will luck in. And if the rain clouds come over, that's exactly what Schumacher will be doing a rain dust night, but it could be Häkkinen.
It looks good here at the moment. Murray, they're talking about the weather forecast and rain expected here in Spain tomorrow.
Well, the best thing that could happen for us is rain, you know, because it will light. Yes, of course, and for the championship. Because, you know, few would bet against Schumacher if it was raining, and you would have to say that he would come through, it'd be a great race, and keep the championship alive, because we don't want the McLarens running away with it.
You've been enormously impressed, though, by what Häkkinen's done so far this season.
Well, you know, this is not the Mika Häkkinen that we're used to. You know, we're used to him breaking gearboxes and breaking down and flying off the circuit. He's matured over the winter, he's become a great driver, and I think he's going to become a great champion.
Derek, we look forward to hearing from you tomorrow, and of course, you as well, Tony. We have a lot more to come from Barcelona. Be sure to join Murray and Martin later this afternoon for F1 Special. 4:15, and that includes interviews with championship leader Mika Häkkinen and with Michael Schumacher. Race day tomorrow. Red lights go off at 1 o'clock. We are off and running at 12:20. And of course, later on, highlights, interviews and analysis at 11:20. Okay, then, we've seen another romp for McLaren in qualifying. Mika Häkkinen on pole. Coulthard right up there. He could well make an impression tomorrow. Join us then. Bye-bye for now.
What a sensation.